It's from Carpet Cleaners Warehouse here. I'm just going to do a really quick overview on air conditioning cleaning with the Speedclean air conditioning cleaning kit. So what we have here is just a couple of indoor units with a condensing unit here on the wall, which we use for demonstration purposes. So this will just be a real quick overview. What I intend to do is just give you the quick process on how to go about cleaning them. So very first thing you need to do is isolate the power before you touch any of these air conditioning units. So go out to the meter box, turn off the circuit breaker, and actually make sure when you hit the remote control that the unit's not working. Then the next stage is to remove this cover on the evaporator unit. So the process is pretty simple. On most systems, you undo some of the screws that are normally visible, sometimes they're behind tags. Grab the cover and take it off, pulling down towards 45 degrees towards you. They go back on exactly the same way. They roll around and back on over the top. So we remove the cover, and that allows us to get to places where we have mold on the indoor casing as well, so we can do a more thorough job. Take that outside, give it a clean, put some chemical on, give it a clean, and give it a bit of a shake. The next process is we have the Speedclean bib kit, which is adjustable in width as well as in height. I can bring this ribbon up to this height here. So what you have is a clear plastic bag with a tail on it, which goes into a bucket. So it's pretty simple, it's visual, so you can see, and the customer and the client can see how much dirt's actually coming out of the system. And it's pretty universal and flexible to be able to adjust to most of the types of air conditioning units and situations. What I have over here is just while I go back in and pick up, there's a bit of clear tape that comes in our kit. So in our cleaning kit, we put this over the electrics, something like that. It's sticky on one side, peel it off, and just mold it in so as if by any reason when you're actually washing this coil out and you slip by accident, you're protecting the electrics. The actual cleaning process will only start once we put this bib kit on. So if I just quickly show you a bag that I've got here. The bag's got a ribbon at the front and has a couple of these retainers on the side here. So this retainer on both sides sits pretty much like this. If you just come in a little bit closer, you can see this clear flat bit here will sit up like that, and the ribbon over. And if you just come around here a little bit more, you'll see that there's actually a hook on this ribbon at the front, and you can select any of these slots up the side here to actually put the hook in and lock it in place. And then what we do, we adjust by means of these toggles here, the actual length of these bungee cords. Okay, I'll just take that off. I won't actually get into the full detail of setting that up. But the idea is that it's very flexible and you've got room to improvise if you have to as well. Once we've got the bib kit up here, what we need to do is then to get some chemical onto the evaporator coil and up into the fan chamber up in here. So with that, Speedclean have made this unit here, which is the CJ125 Coil Jet. This is your chemical chamber, water chamber here and chemical chamber here. And you have, this is where we can turn for different dilution ratios. So by turning all the way out, I can get down to 4:1, and all the way back is straight water. This unit here comes with a 125 PSI diaphragm pump, which is the perfect pressure for cleaning out these indoor evaporator units. So it comes with a trigger, a good quality trigger with quick connects on it. On the actual unit you can get, we supply a fan jet and a straight jet, so it has a fan arrangement. They pop into place quickly by that, and we've got the ability to get up quite close to the coil. The other system we provide are some flexible answers here. Now the idea of this is that we have a jet at 90 degrees coming out here, and I can actually bend this to any angle that I want. So this becomes very handy when you actually look at an evaporator coil here, and if you see that the back of the coil runs down like this. So if the cameraman could just come around this side here and have a look at this side of the unit here, this actual heat exchanger or evaporator coil also runs down the back. And so I can actually get this over the back here and clean right down inside there, because you've got to remember the cornice comes off here. So by not having something that's flexible like this, it sort of limits you as to how much cleaning you can do. The other thing that we can do with this lance is, if I stick it in here quickly, and I can just give you another demonstration, that's with the trigger. I can get over the top. Normally I'd be standing on a ladder in this process, so we just got these down a bit lower. I can clean along the back here, like this. The other good thing about this is that I can actually bend this again to get up into the fan barrel here. So I can clean this whole fan barrel with this flexible lance. The other thing that you've always got to remember is when you're actually cleaning out air conditioning systems, that they are full of a lot of mold and bacteria and viruses, and everything that's in an indoor environment gets captured by the air conditioning unit. So wear PPE gear. You really should have goggles, mask, and something, because you are very close to the actual mold source, but you're also close to where you're putting chemicals on. So what in the Speedclean air conditioning cleaning kit, we provide 3 5-litre concentrates of chemical, which you clean the actual coil, the fan, the cover, everything with. Once that chemical sits on here for up to about 5-10 minutes, you let it do its work, then you will be rinsing off with this system. Now to apply the chemical, again, we put the chemical into the actual coil jet, water into here, got an on-off switch here where we can bring on the pump and select the dilution ratio that you think is required from the chemical side. And depending on how dirty it is, obviously it's going to have a high concentrated chemical. And then once the chemical is on the coils and you've actually done the job, turn it back to 0, which just gives you straight water, 125 psi, to be able to rinse off everything that's on the coil and up into the actual unit. When you're actually rinsing and you're spraying down this way, any overspray will come into the bag itself. Most of the water runs off into the actual condensate pan here and goes down the drain that's already on the air conditioning unit. And then where the fan chamber is up in here, it will actually, all the water comes up into the fan chamber. You'll clean the fan barrel, and then the water will actually come out into the bag, run down the tail and collect into a bucket. What the next process is then is you will remove the actual, you'll remove this bag, or the big kit we call it, and before doing that, maybe just give it a quick rinse. Again with this style of jet, give it a shake, and then we would curl it up and put it into a bucket for use on the next job. The process then would be to grab the cover again, which the cover here. We got the cover, and put the cover back onto the unit in the same way as you took it off, slipping it back over here and back onto the unit like that. Maybe a rag, just give it a wipe down before you put the cover on, and when you got the cover on, just to get rid of any of the loose drops, and then you've got yourself a really clean air conditioning system. So that was a brief overview. If you'd like more information on this cleaning kit, please call Carpet Cleaners Warehouse in either Melbourne, Sydney or Brisbane, and speak to any of the sales team. Thank you for your time.